You know, this seems to be the perfect week to talk about black women and how ridiculously disrespected they are. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, R.I. to the C.O. Rico, the acronym, and I'm back again. What's going on, y'all? I'm a little somber today, a little bit, just because of the whole situation with Sonya Massey, and that shit just does not sit well with my soul. And I got a lot of things to say about that. But I also want to talk about what everybody's talking about right now, which is, of course, Kamala Harris running for president, which, you know, isn't a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. I still have to look up more on her and exactly what she's going for as far as policies and everything. But I already see a lot of people like throwing undue hate. And I'm not just talking about the obvious racist and the obvious jackasses that was going to do it anyway. I'm talking about people that swear to God they don't want Trump in office, but for some strange reason refuse to pick a person or side or whatever. They're just kind of like really snidely making a lot of memes and shit. So, yeah, I want to talk about that. First thing I want to say is that Sonya Massey was murdered, okay? Was straight up murdered. There is nothing else to say about that. It was a murder. It was live. We saw, some of us saw it. I personally have not watched that film footage, but a lot of people saw it. It was a murder. I would like to know why the partner of the cop that shot Sonya Massey did not arrest him on site. That that seems that seems like the perfect time for a cop to arrest a cop. When you watch somebody murder somebody, the lady was not a threat. End of story. Boiling water, really? That was the threat. But as we all know, qualified immunity will probably save this guy if it doesn't save him, he will not get the time that a murderer deserves. He will get some other bullshit, lowered charge, lowered time, whatever, whatever, and he'll be put in protection. So, kind of weird how we treat pedophiles and corrupt cops and cops that kill people for no reason the same. It's very weird. They seem to get the same amount of time when they go to jail. That's very weird to me. And since we're talking about it, I was made to believe by a lot of people, including friends of mine that are law enforcement or were in the military or were previous law enforcement. I was taught that those people are trained to shoot center mass. Why was she shot in the fucking face? If you're just trying to put down a threat, I thought you were supposed to aim for center mass, not literally blow this woman's brains out. This is there's no other way to say it either. I'm not gonna try to make it cute and make it acceptable for YouTube monetization or anything. I'm not trying to get this shit monetized. I do not care. That lady was murdered. She wasn't unalived. She was murdered, killed, shot in the fucking face. And I don't have much trust in our system that what needs to be done will be done. And that's all I can say without saying some stuff that might get me in trouble. I was thinking to myself earlier, the way that she was killed, the suddenness, the automatic 0 to 60 is kind of the same thing that's happening to Kamala Harris right now, minus the actual death and bullets. Now, what do I mean when I say that Sonya Massey's case has a lot to do with Kamala Harris's case? Well, simple as this. Black women and black people in general, but today I'm talking about black women. Black women are punished whether they're doing the absolute right thing or the absolute wrong thing. Punished the exact same. The exact same. The only thing that protects Kamala Harris from the fate of a Sonya Massey is the fact that she is a high level government official. So if she calls for protection, nobody's shooting her in the face. Okay? That's just what it is. But the same way that Sonya Massey called for help and that's the kind of shit she received is kind of the same way I'm looking at a lot of people that are, just constantly bringing up like, oh, she used to be a cop, oh, she used to do this, she used to do that. Now, mind you, there's not a politician that does not have a stain on their record. Every single one does. That's just what it is. Even the one you like, yes, the one you like, has a stain on their record or will in the future, simply because people make mistakes. It is what it is. But I will say there's a difference between a prosecutor and a cop. Okay? That lady had to go to law school to get where she got. She didn't just show up on the beat. She didn't just decide to be a cop because she had nothing better to do, like a lot of cops are. I don't believe she has a family in law enforcement. I will have to look into that, so please do not quote me on that. But if you're not going to like the lady for being involved in law enforcement, at least don't like her for the right fucking reasons, please. That's all I'm saying. Like I said, I still have to figure out whether I'm down. But I will say this, politics aside, politics and policy to the side, Trump is a 34-time felon, a rapist, a racist, and a person that will tell anybody in power what they want to hear to keep him in power. Kamala Harris isn't that. And she's black. I'm more than likely voting for Kamala Harris based on those two facts alone. Call me stupid, call me ignorant, call me whatever you want to. At the end of the day, I don't feel comfortable voting for a president that's a felon. I've never had to do that in my adult life. My first election was Barack Obama. He wasn't a felon. When I voted for Joe Biden, and yes, I did vote for Joe Biden, he wasn't a felon. His son might have been on his way to being one, but he wasn't one. I don't vote for felons, and that's not to say that there aren't people that are felons that couldn't be, politicians at some point in their life. I'm not saying that. I'm saying this specific one, and the shit that he's done, it's more than just the shit that he's done to people physically. It's the stuff that he's done to people financially. The man sells pardons. Come on now. Come on. All right, so I'm going to vote for the crooked motherfucker or the motherfucker that definitely made some mistakes in their political past, but has done their best to kind of reconcile with that shit. Yet again, I still got to do more research. But my whole point for doing this specific Rico's Rants is that black women need to be respected more, period, whether they are running for president or whether they are just simply calling the police because they feel there is a threat outside their home. And between the misogynoir bullshit podcast is always trying to tell black men and other men about how black women act and this and that, and that. Between all that shit, we don't have time for that shit anymore. This is life or death, and it has been for a very long time. This is life or death. Get over the fact that you cannot just run over women anymore. Men of all races, get over it. And I'm not going to ask racists to not be racist because that's what they do. But just understand this, racists. It ain't enough of y'all to keep this woman from at the very least coming very close to becoming president. It might be enough of y'all to keep her out of the presidency, but for some strange reason, I just don't believe so. I just don't believe so. Because Trump's policies are not popular with nobody but people that fuck with him. It's not a national thing to where like so many people in the U.S. want all these. They just like him because the man lies to their face. And they don't care. They take up for him and everything. I don't have to take up for Kamala Harris's lies because tell me a lie she told. I'm waiting. Let me know. At the end of the day, respect these black women, man. End of story. There's nothing else really to say. Nothing else to say. But of course, I can't say that because you got something to say. So y'all let me know down in the comments how you feel about the whole situation, how you feel about the Sonya Massey situation. And for those that think that anything was rightly done in that situation, you're a liar and I don't like you. And for those of y'all that don't like Kamala Harris, tell me why. Put me up on some game. Put me up on some education. If there's a good reason not to like this woman and not to back this woman for president, please give it to me. I'd love to hear it. Because otherwise, I'm voting for Kamala Harris. I'm just going to call it what it is. All right. I want to see a black woman as a president. My name's Rico. You're awesome. Peace out.